What's up, Michael? Trying something a little different, just doing YouTube live. So just wanted to try something, see if it's gonna work. Got a cup of coffee, so I figured as long as I got a cup of coffee, I'll do live. When I run out of coffee, we'll end the live chat. So Ronald, how are you, sir? Let's see, there is. Hey Ray, how's it going? Hi from Oregon. Cool, nice. Yeah, it's 1:30 here, so you still got a little morning time there. Hey from Utah, nice. That's cool. What do you guys think about what's going over in Iran? And then was it Michigan? They had the active shooter. Yeah, heat wave. Yeah, that's definitely going on here. So we're gonna be over 100 degrees. Like, feels like temperature. At least the temperature is being like mid 90s here this week, but I feel like temperature is gonna be over 100 here in South Carolina. So Washington, Poland, nice. Skinny Scouter. Oh, I was like, somebody stole my name at first, but did you guys see the news of the Michigan that had the active shooter at church? I think the security shot him. I think suspect had a gunshot went to the leg, I believe is what I was reading right before the chat. I think it's pretty warm everywhere right now. Welcome to summertime. So I would rather be hot than cold though. Like I don't like cold weather, so I'd rather be in the summertime. I don't like having multiple layers on. I'm not sure. Like I just saw details right before I was going live, so first time mentioned the Project 223 podcast. Cool. High today will be in the 60s. Nice. That would be refreshing to our 95-degree weather here. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. A couple years ago, I guess 2 years ago now, I started taking medicine for high blood pressure. It's my mom has high blood pressure. My dad has high blood pressure. My mom actually had to have 2 strokes. So kind of started checking my blood pressure. Like I am having some headaches, and so went on blood pressure medicine. After that, man, I cannot do the cold. Like I'd freeze to death. So I had to go buy like the fancy clothes to keep me warm. So, but yeah, the medicine just does it to me. What are you guys working on this Sunday? What's your projects? I gotta work on a video. I'm gonna try to work on a video, get it edited and things for the EDQ tourniquet, the everyday tourniquet. So we got the 1-inch version in, and we got the wide, so which is a it's 1.5-inch tourniquet, everyday tourniquet. So it's very similar to the cat, things like that. So I'm kind of working on that video, getting it done. I got some more coming in stock. We put some in stock a couple weeks ago and sent out to our mailing list, and then sold those out pretty quickly. So we ordered some more to get them back in stock. it was kind of interesting. Like I didn't think we'd sell that, just doing an email, but we actually sold those tourniquets out. So, and I hadn't even posted a long form content on the channel about the video on the 2.0 tourniquet. So they're doing well. Yeah, I've got some of the military surplus to Arctic gear too. That's what I actually ski. We go ski snowboarding with a family, and I use it. So it's a lot cheaper, and I don't really worry about getting messed up. We've been adding new bags here at the shop too. We've added lots of new bags from Vanquest. Added some of their EDC pouches. So you're looking at them across the way here. So there, we've got some new the Vanquest EDC bags, which are nice. We got all 3 versions of those in stock. And then we added one of the Vanquest was a Javelin backpack, I believe. So we added that. Just looking to add some more bags, some kind of things like that. So you could use these, like these EDC bags, for putting a boo-boo kit in, stuff like that. That would work great if you're looking for carry some small medical stuff. So like this is the one. I think it's the slim. Yeah, like this is a slim. I really like this one. It's kind of small. You can still use your MOLLE clips on the back to actually put it to a backpack or something like that. And then when you open it up, it's got the high vis orange, which I like that kind of contrast. But you can put pins, lighters, whatever you'll put, little flash drives. So even a boo-boo kit would fit nice in here, something like that. It's got some pain meds, things like that would fit. Something along those lines. I don't think I have any boo-boo kits built out right now. Yeah. Yeah, so like a boo-boo kit. This has meds, antibiotic ointments, burn cream, stuff like that. So like something that you are probably going to use a lot of. I mean, hopefully you're not using a tourniquet every single day. I guess depending on what you do for a living. But something like a boo-boo kit fits nice in there. Put some other everyday items you might need that you don't lose. But then you got your boo-boo kit. You got your small meds, things like that you want to put in there. I bet even a SWAT-C tourniquet would fit in there. You could probably do that's a small. They make the Husky and something else a little bit bigger, but you could do SWAT-C, I bet, in there. Yeah, so yeah, look at there. Like that's pretty cool. Now you have a SWAT-C tourniquet and our boo-boo kit all in the smallest Vanquest bag, so you know it's going to fit in the other 2 sizes. So nice. From Vanquest, you could put med kit, whatever like that, whatever you want to on there. So yeah, take a picture of that, put it up. That's pretty neat. Cold 22.96 today in Iowa. Yeah. Thanks for the great customer service. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for your support. We're just a little small business here. We've grown. We've got several employees that work for us. Several moms who we've known for years, or family, friends, things like that. That they come and they pack orders for us while their kids are in school. So they kind of work. When they drop the kids off, they will come and pack orders for us, and then when the kids are ready for pickup for school, they leave. They go to the post office, things like that. So I think it's nice, especially nice to have people that we've known for years that run our business, that we trust to run our business, like that. So it's nice that we are able to grow big enough to support multiple families, but also small enough that we can still keep it small. We're not just having to hire random people off the street. So that's a nice think about where we're at right now. So, how big of a kit should I have for 15 or 20 people? Kind of depends. Like, it depends on your budget. Hopefully, you don't have 15 or 20 people get injured at the same time. I'm thinking you like troop, let's see, building a trauma kit, first aid kit. So I think you're going to use a lot of like band-aids typically, honestly, like band-aids, small ointment, burns, boo-boo type stuff. So this is going to be your biggest need is small stuff like this. Obviously, you'd want to have some tourniquets, pressure bandages, some compressed gauze, that to stop major bleeding. Would be probably like your big priority because this is going to be like your comfort care. But then one of your priorities is stop major bleeding. So having a few tourniquets, pressure bandages, things like that. Boo-boo kit, stuff for burns, especially if you're dealing with your true, like something like Cub Scout, something like that. It's like burns, but a lot of boo-boo type stuff. You're gonna have scrapes and bumps and bruises and bites, bee stings and stuff like that. So I think like this is gonna make up majority of your kit, honestly. So using an M3 type bag, yeah. So I think lots of boo-boo type stuff, bite and sting pads, bite and sting ampules. We've got the SAM splints over there. And then, obviously you want a couple tourniquets, pressure bandages, things like that to kind of stop some bleeding if you had to. But I think like a SAM splint and then lots of boo-boo type stuff is going to make you a hero. So unfortunately, we are not allowed to ship stuff outside the U.S. We have contracts with multiple companies that said we can't do that. So I wish we could. Like I wish we could ship stuff worldwide, but unfortunately, we have to keep stuff inside the U.S. So I'm sorry. Yeah, no problem. Like I said, you can go to medicalgearoutfitters.com and pick that stuff up. I appreciate it. What other questions we guys got? I can answer. Something you want to see in the shop? Like we can talk about it, or I can show it to you. What do you guys want to see? Yes, we keep ice packs. I typically would take the ice packs and put them in a separate Ziploc bag, just because those instant ones have a tendency to bust and leak. Even in shipping, like we've had some issues where we're trying the best to ship things, cleanly, and then they end up getting busted. So, but those instant ice packs, they're cheap, and just put them in a separate bag. That way, if they do bust inside of your kit, that they're not messing up the other supplies. So yeah, first, probably like 2 ice packs is probably plenty. Thinking about a kit wise, so I would do that. Do you have videos on how to use gear? Yeah, like that's what we've been. The YouTube channel here on SkinnyMedic has done a lot of that stuff. Also, Medical Gear Outfitters has a YouTube channel as well, so kind of showing some more. So that's more like product showing, like demos. But most of our products we sell, we've done some kind of video on the YouTube channel, so you can kind of search it. We can probably a video on it. Boo-boo kits are good for gifts for parents. Yeah, like that's definitely a big seller for us around Christmas time, stuff like that, is those boo-boo kits. Last year I posted that little girl, like she was up in a spare room and she was packing boo-boo kits. So it was like all hands on deck to pack boo-boo kits. So that's a good seller for us. Can you use HSA? Yes, absolutely. You can use all of those accounts, flex spending accounts, the home savings, health savings account. Yep, you can use all that. No big deal. So yeah, you can use all of those accounts. The only thing we have to do is we turn around and you email me at Dietrich@medicalgearoutfitters.com, and I can send you a PDF, and that covers all the issues we've had with your company pitching a fit, because it's like you have to have send them a PDF, and the email that we send doesn't really count for that. So, but it's no big deal. We do it all the time, and no big issues there. So don't lose those monies, and if you want to use it for first aid supplies, you absolutely can. Let's see. My website is medicalgearoutfitters.com. Someone's on. Are those expired combat? Yeah. Um, yeah, those are still good. As they become expired, they become less effective. So at some point, yes, they're not effective anymore. But there's not really like no data to support how long they're good after their expiration date. But so typically, what I would do is if I would keep combat galls that's in date in my front, like that's my frontline galls, and then if it's expired, then I would move it back and like move it as a secondary gauze, if that makes sense. So I would kind of just keep my good galls that I want to control bleeding with in date. And then if I have some galls that expire by a year or two or a couple years old and it's still sealed good, hasn't lost its vacuum seal, I would just move it as a backup galls. Absolutely. If you mention uh, MGO in your videos, we have an affiliate program as well. So if you go to medicalgearoutfitters.com and scroll down, um, then you'll see an affiliate link. You can sign up for that, and you get 5% back on the sales. And if you mention like a video of one of our products, I'll share it and try to get you some traction on theirs too. So, uh, Ron Rescue, and I don't know. I really haven't tested any of their products. To be honest with you, so don't really know enough to comment on it. But I haven't tested their products. We're we sell the cat tourniquet, soft T, TMT tourniquet, the SAM tourniquet. So we just kind of stick with those more well-known tourniquets. If we're gonna sell you some life-saving equipment, then we want to make sure that we know the company and we can back the company. Yeah, let's see. Do you sell a tick removal kit? Yes. It's in. We don't sell it individually, honestly, but we sell them in our kits, like the hiking kit. Trying to think what else. A couple of things in our kits that we sell the tick removal tool to get rid of those. But we don't sell them individually, honestly, but we just do sell them inside of a kit. Awesome. Thank you for bookmarking the website. Appreciate it. Which is a good tourniquet to use for younger kids? So typically, kids have small diameter limbs, like arms and legs. So they don't necessarily need a tourniquet. They need a good pressure bandage. So like the SWAT T, like we were just talking about a minute ago, is going to work well. A 4-inch pressure bandage from Israeli, ETD from NAR, or an Elias bandage from TACMed. Those are all typically what's going to be good for younger kids if you're going to do it that way. But the cat will go down into 5 inches circumference, which is still pretty small. But typically, kids don't need a tourniquet. They just need a pressure bandage. Like they don't have the muscle mass that we have to try to collapse down on a tourniquet. So a pressure bandage work great. So that's what honestly I'd recommend is SWAT T or just a pressure bandage for a child. What's my favorite tourniquet? Honestly, it has to be the cat. That is what I've used in the field. In EMS, I've used probably 6 tourniquets in the field. So it's what I know, it's what I use. There's some great tourniquets on the market, but it's what I like the cat. It's what I sell. It's a lot of. It's the most popular tourniquet we sell, and then it's what I've used. So I just kind of stick with that. You sell iodine tablets. We do not sell iodine tablets. So I think some other places on the internet you can probably get that, but we do not sell them. Awesome. These are great questions. What else you guys have? Yeah. My good. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. So how do you know when a laceration is big enough that you have to get stitches? Very good question. Typically, if you have trouble getting the bleeding to stop with direct pressure, like you put a pressure bandage on, you're struggling, you might want to start thinking about it because really, like the stitches are to stop the infection. That's the big thing. Like we can get bleeding control with combat gauze, C-locks, direct pressure, stuff like that. But when it's large enough, a good gash, it's going to be, well, I'm worried about infection. So we can clean it really good with betadine and things like that. But infection is going to be what the big thing is. So we want to put stitches to keep that infection clean because our body is doing that. Our body is protecting our temperature infection is preventing that. So now we've got an open source that we can get infected. So getting stitches after that. If you have trouble keeping a wound from getting the bleeding controlled, or it keeps re-bleeding, like you've got it controlled, and then next thing you know, 30 minutes later, it's bleeding again, you may want to think about getting stitches. I've been good. Busy. Still working EMS full time, plus medical gear, and then plus the SkinnyMedic YouTube channel. It's like having 3 different jobs, but busy. So, but a good thing. It's good. I'm very blessed. Awesome. What's in the hiking kit? Honestly, I don't remember. Like it's like a it's good for like a day hike kit. Like it's not like something you're gonna carry on multi-day. Let's see, we've got our cheat sheet right here. I don't have any built out, so I'd have to like just read it to you. It's on the website too, so where's that? Overland kit. Does it have? Yes, the Overland kit has a tick remover in there. Someone was asking about that. So we built the Overland kit for like Jeeps, like people riding around Jeeps or going RV, stuff like that. We built that kit for that. Let's see. There's a mountain bike first aid kit. Hiking kit. So it has 5x9s, 4x4s, rolled gauze, triangle bandages, has liquid IV. Has a tourniquet. You can choose the cat T or the soft T. Has a 6-inch pressure bandage. Has a moleskin. Has tweezers with a magnifier. Has hand sanitizer. Has the Rise splint from TapMed Solutions. Has a roll of athletic tape. Sunscreen, ibuprofen, Tylenol, some medicine for upset stomach, Benadryl, alcohol pads, bite and sting pads, Band-Aids, and hydrocortisone cream. So, pretty good little list there. So, this is the book we have, so we can make sure we pack everything right. So, like I said, it comes in a plastic bag. We just put it in a Ziploc bag. So, it's kind of something you could drop in your day pouch, drop in your day bag, and have it that way. Best practices for sunburn. You got to start cooling it. So aloe, I can't say it. Aloe, yeah. Lotion works great. The burn cream that we have works good. But just some cream just to kind of stop the burning process and don't get sunburn in the first place. Awesome, this is fun. I haven't done a live in a long time, so when I was logging in, check my morning stuff, YouTube like it's like, hey, like you should do a vertical live session. So I guess YouTube's kind of pushing these right now, so they sent a reminder. I was like, hey, you should do this. So I just like, all right, I have some free time this Sunday, so let's do a live chat. How severe of an electric shock? Should I get checked out? Should I go get checked out? I'm an electrician. Ooh, I hate electricity. Like, I just don't like it. I always cut off all the breakers. I would say that if it knocks you to the ground, it's a good idea, because what we're worried about is like your heart. Your heart fires on electricity, and so if you get a large voltage going through there, then it could disrupt your heart dysrhythmia. So it could cause dysrhythmia, things like that. So if you're having chest pain, shortness of breath, you get knocked to the ground with some electricity, I think that's probably when I would go get checked. Obviously, if you can't become detached from whatever's electrocuting you, I think that's another one too that I probably would recommend going to get checked. So I live in Texas. We have a good amount of venomous snakes. Remember years ago, it was recommended to use a tourniquet, but now I hear, yeah. So with snake bites, first we don't try to suck out the poison. Okay, unless she looks good. And then you can, never mind, just kidding. But don't suck out the poison. Typically, the poison is going to be moving past the track anyway, and like you're just, it's gross. But a pressure bandage is, and like I said, a tourniquet does have its issues. You could cause some neurological damage, stuff like that. But typically, a pressure bandage is what we're going to look for. So with a snake bite, just wrap it and treat it like a shock, like a fracture. We're just going to wrap it up with a pressure bandage and be seen at the hospital for it. Have you received any new bags to review for a large trauma medic bag? Not really. Like I said, we did start carrying the Vanquest. I think it was a Javelin that we just started carrying. You could obviously make that into a first aid bag. Like I shared on the SkinnyMedic Facebook page, the Trident 32 refill kit. We have the Trident 32 backpack that we sell, and that's a huge kit. So I think that Trident bag, and then like I said, the Javelin. I don't know if I have one or not. Let's see. Yeah, so we have the Trident 32 backpack, which is on medicalgearoutfitters.com's website. And then we started carrying this one, which is a little bit smaller. Is this a Javelin? Yeah, the Javelin back here, which is a little bit smaller, but still has 2 straps. But you can put a lot of medical supplies in here, and it has dividers. So that's why we kind of want to look at this backpack. So you can put your supplies in. Get this popped open. It's got these little snaps here, and I don't want to mess them up because this is not my backpack. Here we go. But yeah, so this builds out very nicely. You could build out a nice kit. These dividers here come out. So you could build a nice first aid kit for this backpack here. So that's why we kind of started carrying this. We have a great relationship with Vanquest. So just looking for something different we could carry. Nice and padded. So this will make a good kit. There again, you could even have hook and loop here at the top to put IFAC medical trauma. Let people know this is your kit. Let's see. Yep, so you make kits, you see. Make videos to teach. Cool, awesome. Train first aid gear. Ugh. That's tough, like, because we're spoiled. Like, I can open up stuff here and use it for videos. So check with your local EMS fire department and see if they have bandaging stuff that's expiring and stuff like that. So check with your local EMS fire departments, things like that, and see if they have any expired stuff, and just tell them what you're doing. Tell them you're making YouTube videos to help kids, and give them your story, and just they'll donate stuff for you. So how do passerby deal with the mass burns casualties like the one we had recently? Okay. I would use the burn sheets. Ones we got to stop the burning process. So even if you have to put fire extinguishers on them, water, whatever, you got to stop the burning process. Got to stop them from burning more. And then you got to keep it clean the best you can. If all you had is a t-shirt, whatever. But we got a burn sheet, something like that would be nice to have that you could wrap. Those burn sheets are pretty big. So something like these. Like this is pretty big. Obviously, you're going to run a lot out of there. So, but the big thing with burns is infection. Like they are, they're painful typically. especially the kind of burns you guys saw there with the cocktails being thrown at people. But infection. So once you get the pain under control, then you have a problem with um, infection days later, weeks later, and that's the big thing. So keeping them clean. But also, we're not going to do anything that pre-hospital. We're going to let the burn center, things like that, take care of it. But we've got to keep them clean the best we can and dry. Got to stop the burning process, but also we don't want to like soak them down with water if we don't have to, because what happens is now, especially large surface area burns, is the body's lost its control to thermoregulate. So now you have a burn patient that's hypothermic, even though it's 80 degrees, 90 degrees outside, your burn patient is not hypothermic, and that's not good for the patient either. So that can actually be super dangerous. So keep them dry and the wounds as clean as best as possible. Awesome. Anything else? Not, I'm gonna go back to work. Go find some other project to do. I have a little bit more coffee left, so I can work for a little bit longer. That depends. I'm trying to think. We typically see probably 30 or 40 sales a day here, so blessed for that. For non-emergency hydration, so water, electrolytes are big. We use the liquid IV a lot. My wife has started buying the rehydration like powder stuff that she's looking for that's super clean, doesn't have a lot of junk in it. So electrolytes is gonna be a big deal. Sometimes just replacing with water is not enough. So we start drinking water. It doesn't have the electrolytes in it like this potassium and things like that we need, sodium, and we need that kind of stuff to kind of rebuild what's going on. So way to rehydrate is just electrolytes and water. Get cooled off. Loose clothing, don't wear dark clothing, things like that. If it's an emergency, then we will do ice baths. Like that's the best thing for us, is just fill up a bunch of ice and just get them cooled off as quickly as possible. Hello, Richard. How are you? Long time no see. We missed NRA this year, so I didn't get to see you. No, Joe, we stopped offering online our training classes just because going back, I got the opportunity to go back to work EMS, so that takes up all my time during the week, and then so just kind of having the weekends off for my family. So we took a break from that. Not saying we won't get them back started, but right now we just gonna take a break. So kids are teenagers; they're almost out the door, so just want to kind of enjoy the last little bit of them being at home. Morning CT, that cannot be good. Hopefully everything's good. Hopefully you're good. What should I do with the Recon Medical and Rat Tourniquet I purchased? So I would use the Recon Medical for a training tourniquet. I'd write training on it, and I would use it for training. I would use the heck out of it for training. Arms, legs, toss it to friends, whatever you need to do. And then the Rat Tourniquet, you could use it to hold stuff together. In theory, like I said, the Rat Tourniquet would work. Yeah, and same thing. Like in theory, the Recon Medical would work until it breaks. It doesn't work. But yeah, I would use it for training. That's what I would use it for, and I would obviously use a commercial device that we trust to just do life saving. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Richard. I'll get in touch with Don and get caught up. Awesome. Well, maybe we'll do this again. Maybe I don't know if we'll do it next Sunday. Got a lot going on, but maybe I can do it next Sunday. We'll just kind of sit down and talk and see how this goes. But thank you guys for the good questions. Thank you guys for logging in. So, like I said, maybe we'll see how next Sunday goes. Got a lot going on with church and things like that tomorrow, next Sunday. So, but maybe we can do it next Sunday. Maybe it's kind of something we do. Awesome. Take care, guys.